my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay
everyone?
calm.
What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
Help!
Here.
Oh.
Take my hand.
Ah!
Come on. You're gonna fall unless you take my hand.
No, give me your other hand.
Oh, my other hand isn't strong enough. You take my little hand.
No! Get it away from me!
Take it. Take my hand.
Ah!
I hear the train a-comin', it's rollin' round the bend.
You speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death. You cannot even defy sleep. And our like sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
Welcome everybody. Welcome. How are you feeling? What is it, Friday night? Did you all watch Ballers? I saw Shane got delivered more fast food, some fish burgers or something. I didn't see. I was out visiting our very good friend of the channel, Mr. Rob Arnold, in the flesh. And can I say, there's less of Rob every day. He's lost a ton of weight up there. All this sickness. But I hope you're feeling very well. It took me 2 hours of driving today. And I'm going to settle in and do a little bit of coloring. But I thought I would share our little adventure with you. I also received something pretty cool. And we can just hang out while I draw. Why not? You're all here. No one else is streaming. Amazing. I mean, it is, probably 3 a.m. in the morning or something. But hey, Jeremy Burt says, hail, he was first, acknowledged, even though not shown. Hail, Mo Biggs. Who else we got? Gary G's in the house. I see Martin with a mountain bike. Hello. Hail all. My very good friend is a big mountain biker. He's always in hospital. He literally goes through the mountains and falls over. 40% Zed, God damn it, almost went to bed. I was almost free. What is it? Pacino saying Godfather 3? Every time I'm out, they pull me back in. Sark is here. 40% Zed. I just said 40% Zed. I'll say it again. Hal Bogans, Hal Bancroft, my lovely wife Mel. D, remember Bogan chat. Wow. The old Bancroft and Rob, let's go. I invited Rob to come do draw streams with me again, like we used to, like the good old days. And he gave me this face. He was like, yeah, like that. I don't know how to interpret that. I said, you don't have to think of anything. You don't have to do anything. You just show up. You can show up. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. You guys get pull his legs, pull his arms. Gary G, how you going? Athaline. Who else is here? Snuckcon says, when you visit Rob, you are indeed surrounded by death. I mean, he's still not 100% back to full health, but he's looking good. He's looking trim and terrific. Hello, darling. Schneely. Who else we got in here? Okay, Martin just woke up. What time is it where you just wake up? I got no idea. That Rob was AI. He's okay. He's okay. Mo says, losing weight can't be F'd. Do I have to spell it out? Does I have to spell it out? AIDS. Everybody has AIDS. How many giant spiders did you run over while you traveled? Well, let me tell you something. So we're driving up to, we didn't go to Rob's place. We went to, I'll show you the venue in a sec. It's a farm near Rob's house. And I'm sitting at an intersection and I'm looking over there to the right ahead of me. There's a bit of a grassy knoll on the other side of the intersection. Guess what I see jump down out of the grass and shoot behind the traffic? A massive kangaroo just hopped down and was gone. And I said, kangaroo! It was too late. And we were looking for it. I don't know where it went. Ran behind the traffic somewhere. But I don't know, that's special for me. We didn't normally see kangaroos around. Hello, Jose. Every time I'm out, he pulls me back in. Rod. No, that's not what Rod said. We got Dave in the house. His book is launching soon. Make sure you're here in under a week. Perfect 10. I believe it's... Yeah, Dave's going to have to remind me. Is it book 4 or is it a different volume? Actually, in a week, we're launching Tiger Blue 3. How about that? Look, I got my Tiger Blues right here. There's another one back there somewhere. Hail Philbo Baggins. That is very Rob. I can't remember what I said now. Camel is going to be jealous you're playing with other boys. He was a little bit. Yeah. Being sick is not the best way to lose weight, just saying. Well, I don't know if that was his goal. But, that's, it's something. Martin says, it's 10:50 a.m. here. He always misses most of the good streams. Well, now you get me. Congratulations. I don't know, Mo. Mo asks, how is this the first ever heard of Tiger Blue 3? I don't know. Matt asked me. I said yes. Here we are. Snark wants to know if you're here. You'd like to hear about all the episodes of One Piece anime that he watched. I doubt he probably does. Here we are. Look, I said this is Rob country. I'm in Rob country. It's like flavor country. This is full of Rob. There we are. He's still pipping me on the height, but it's mostly Rob Hawk. I thought that was a good pick to show. Look at him looking out yonder. Look at this lovely, amazing scenery here. This is true blue dinky dye Aussie bush right there. There's a creek. It's actually a river, but it looks a bit more like a creek. Right here is that's a ravine. So if you step over there, you step to your death. So we were literally living on the edge taking this photo. And this was right next to where we were just having dinner. D, bloody legend, just gifted 5 memberships. Hail D, thank you so much.
You little ripper!
And Genuine Comics, Athaline, Sark, Now Bunny, and Phil Devereaux, all gifted memberships. We've got Jasper joining us. Did I miss anything good? Just showing off. Rob and I, we met up today. We took the whole fam, which I'm glad we did. Had lunch. It was a bit of a party. It was a big party. Met some people. Mingled. Not pictured. The Grim Reaper. Mel says she could have died taking this picture. Yeah, one misstep, one stumble, and you're down. It's probably, I don't know, like 30 or 40 meters down to the creek bed. You're done. Jeremy, Rob's alive? Barely. I tried to convince him, Jeremy, to come back and hang out a bit, and he was polite. I don't know if he's interested, but I said we had just have so much fun. I would draw. We would, there would be the bants. He doesn't want to do his show for the rest of the year at least, because that would mean he'd have to kind of keep up with everything, and he hasn't been keeping up with everything. So, but he can come back onto a draw stream and just hang out. I mean, he's doing Camel Night, so why not? Weekend at Bernie's Australian edition. What? Who's holding up who? I'm the dead guy because I've got the glasses on. Sticky tape my mouth open. He was actually giving me a squeeze on my rump here. Mel didn't know that. He was giving me a little bit of a, how's your father? This is the place that we went to. It's up here partying. This is the venue. It was very nice. It was a farm. Well, I mean, an old farm. Look at this lovely, beautiful Australian bush scenery. Gum trees. Give me a home amongst the gum trees. Clearly CGI, says Sark. The kids were just running around like crazy. Where's the ziggurat? No ziggurat, unfortunately. Just this old renovated farmhouse. And there you go. I don't know why Mel sent me that one, but it's a dirty awning. Clean your awnings, people. Mo says, Rob's not actually sick at all. He's just on a diet where he can only eat foods he knows how to spell. It's 100 and starvation. It's almost like that. So there you go. That was most of my day. Mel says, Victoria took the pics. Don't say anything bad. Well, I didn't. Yeah, but you sent the pics. Rob's been eating bugs, suggests Snark. No, we had a good meal. We had, it was really good, actually. There was all kinds of different foods and spreads. It was good. He also gave me this. Check this out. Back in the day, we, purchased this together. You might recognize it. Kenneth Roquefort sketchbook. Let's open this up. I remember spending a ton of money on this. We didn't get what everyone else got with all the sketches and stuff like that. Oh, it feels so nice. Oh my god. Look at this guy. Just some lazy sketches from the Roqueforts. Amazing. I'm gonna have fun flicking through that. Need to rebag it. I don't want anything to happen to my my Roca goodies. Oh, and I just put the... Lucky it's matte laminated. Yeah, Jeremy, the sketchbook, as he calls it, with better art than anyone else. Mel swears this is book 1. That's not book 1, is it? Am I... Oh, hang on, he probably said it on the side. It is. Okay, I'm an idiot. That's book 1. There you go, because I got 4 books here. Mel knows better than I do. Jasper's got to read his yet. Haven't read mine. I will be reading this after the stream. That is book 1. Thank you, Gary G. Thank you, Mel. I was like, no, it isn't. No, okay, it is. All right. All right. All right. Yeah, I did. Look at the spine. Thank you, Jasper. Sometimes I forget how to comic, you know? All right, let's look at these new covers. How does he do this? There's that one. Roquefort is someone who I will get all the covers no matter what. I mean, it's a must. Oh, look at this. Bookmark, trading card, sticker. Beautiful. The question is, which will be my reader's copy? You guys let me know which one is the, like, the most common. Which one is the rarest? Which one is the most common? Look at this cover. And amazingly, the colors pop just like the art. Jeremy says, Groken 2 was a better read than 1, I thought, and the art is just next level. Well, 1 is very much, you can't really follow too much of what's happening because you don't know who they are. I always said it's like having never read A Song of Ice and Fire before and just jumping into Game of Thrones Season 1. And they're just, spitting off names and places and houses, and I couldn't follow a thing. All I knew was it looked cool. And then there's this one. In order of my favorite, I'm probably going to say this is third, which is amazing. A piece of art like that could be third. This would be second favorite, and then this is favorite. I love that that face he did there. But I mean, all his chick faces are awesome. The cover with the old man is the rare cover. Alright, I won't touch that one. That one's staying bagged. Over there. So you're saying... Snack says Vanessa's Roka sense is tingling. Someone said it. Which one is the most common? Jeremy. The most common is the Stella cover. Alright. I'll open that one. Even though, I mean, I'm not going to wreck it. I know how to read comics. I really look forward to that. Yeah, the first one, yeah, you can't really tell, but you can see it's like a big world that he's built, but you don't really know anyone yet. That's it. You're at a party, and you don't know anyone, and you're trying to piece it all together. So hopefully the second book will expand on all that. I'm very excited to read that tonight. I'm gonna be absolutely blown away by the art. I'm sure. I'm gonna want to quit art like I always do when I see Kenneth. Haven't seen Kenneth around much. I probably hope that means he's just been super busy. Hopefully. Eric says, I'm sure it was the same way first viewing of Star Wars. Robots, huh? Who's this princess chick in white? A little bit, but I think with a comic, you only have so much you can really expound. And he's not doing, he's a bit like me, he's like anti-info dump. It's just in media res. You learn as you go, you just get dropped in. Very exciting. Very exciting. Oh, Lethal Lightning's in the house. I saw these guys all did a meetup the other day. Full Aussie. It looked like fun. They were all eating gay times together. And I said, what did I say? I said, look, gay times are great. It's hard to have a gay time on your own. But just have gay time with your mates. You don't need to bring any chicks into it. He says, hey, your mate. Can't say, just want to say hi. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing very well. Man, thank you so much for the $5. Get one of these, $5.
Well, cheers, big ears.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone is saying hello. Kenneth is gearing up for a con up north right now. Excellent. Excellent. He says it's still on. It's got him pretty tired. Oh my god, that's like a week. A week-long meetup. D says that's because Mozza is super gay. Well, obviously. He's gay enough for everyone. Everyone eating gay times means something different in America. Yeah, but you know, you can put up with it. It's fine. That's really all I have to show off. Met up with Rob. Tried to convince him to come back to streaming. Hung out with his family and friends. I met a friend of Rob's, if you can believe it. He was a cool guy. It was one of those situations, their kids played with our kids. Which is always good. Alright. But back to work. The grind, as it were. Rob does have a friend, Jeremy. He does. People are surprised. They're like, what do you mean? His carer? Says Mo Biggs. No, he has an actual friend. Over on Rumble, I forgot to mention, we are, as always, simulcast on Rumble. Got 7 watching over there right now. Thank you so much to the Rumble game. Rotax Hippie says, showing us your secret bone spots. What's a bone spot? Is that where you bury your victims? I don't know what that is. Either way, I am in process right now of coloring. That's what I'm doing. I've got 16 pages I want to get done by the end of this month. So I'm in a bit of a mad rush. I think I'm on track. I'm pretty sure I'm on track. But it's a lot of work. It's alright. It's worth it. Is it a sock puppet? Rob's friend? No, he's just a normal guy, and he was telling me kind of old Rob stories. You know, just normal Rob stuff. That we all knew. I was telling him a bit about the stuff that, you know, Rob gets up to on the streams. Although, not recently, obviously. This pose here was the one, if you remember when I was drawing it, I actually got Mel to do. Now, this isn't Mel, but I did ask Mel to stand like this because I wanted to know how a person actually leans like this against a wall. So, there you go. Use your wife as reference. Rob's friend is a snail of average snail intelligence. No, he's a real human, believe it or not. His name is Phil. Yeah, normal guy, married, kids. I think they used to live together, actually. They were roommates, even. I think. Rob will be able to confirm that. I don't know. Mel said, "It is me." Well, I didn't want to tell them that, Mel. Must be some kind of mystery. She was wearing pants, right? When Mel did the reference? No, she wasn't. And she made me delete the video, the image straight away after I looked at it. So I told her I did. Delete. Yeah. You guys know what it's like. Yeah, I forgot there's a motorbike over here. Some people for the fan art contest have wanted to draw this bike. So they wanted to know exactly what kind of bike it is. It is a Ducati 916. There's me sounding like I know anything about motorbikes. But it is a real bike. Dean said he was going to draw the bike, ultimately decided against it. Probably a good idea. Yeah, all this stuff in here, this bike stuff. yeah, I wouldn't look at it too closely if you're into this sort of thing. Probably just going to be a bit disappointed. But, you know, that's all right. It's all about just the illusion of it. It's like when Homer was making a robot, and like, see why? That's why your robot didn't work, Homer. All the electronics inside it. D says he's owned a few Ducatis. They are fun. I rode a scooter in Thailand. Does that count? When I was 17. That's about the extent of my adventures on a bike. Nearly killed myself, of course. Is the mic low? Yeah, the mic's been going down automatically for a while. I don't know why it keeps doing that. If the mic is low, just let me know and I'll turn it up. The mic could just be getting old. Might be time for an upgrade. In the on the drive over to the farm, Victoria had made a playlist of all a bunch of different songs that we all like. So it was like, here's a song that, you know, Mama likes. Here's a song that Victoria likes. Here's a song that Clark likes. And almost none of them were any of I liked. So I requested Leonard Skinner, Freebird. So she added that to the list, and then she cracked it because it was 9 minutes long. But I was loving it. I made them listen to the whole song the whole way. It's such a great driving song. Mo says, I know she was just being nice, but Mrs. B never should have let Rob cover her ears in paste during arts and crafts. I did turn it up. Jeremy says, did I recently see a post that Victoria came second place in a jiu-jitsu tournament? If so, that's awesome. Congrats. You are correct. She placed second in the Australian Nationals. I think there were 5 or 6 girls in her division. All of them, well, not all of them. All of them except maybe one Stone Cold Killers. One of them was the world champ. She's the one who won. Victoria didn't beat her. But Victoria was also Oceanic champ, I think at the start of this year. And that was a really hard won match. But the world champ wasn't at that one, so yeah, you know. Still, kicking ass, taking names. It's pretty cool. There's a little, you know, at this level, at this point, there's a little group of them. And I said at the time, Victoria's strength is her tenacity. She doesn't beat the girls on the first try or even the second try, but she keeps coming back and back and back, and then eventually she gets them. Which only just makes the victory all the more sweeter when it happens. Mo says, Oceanic champ, how many mermaids did she beat up? Well, importantly, she just beat the one, which is who'd been her arch nemesis for years, and she beat her for the first time ever to win gold, which was pretty amazing. I must admit, I was yelling at that point. Yes! Which is always a bit, you know, someone else's kid just got beaten and you just, you know, yelling. But some parents yell the worst stuff when the matches are on. Choke her! Take her leg! You know, all that sort of stuff. Dean says, losing to the literal world champion is nothing to scoff at. Yeah, I know, right? You can't be ashamed of that. Even just getting a chance to go against her in a match is pretty epic. And it's funny because this girl is tiny. And that's what is so cool about jiu-jitsu. This girl was one of the smallest in the whole group. And she's the world champ. She travels all over the world, which is pretty funny, you know, at the age of 11 doing that. And just wins. That's all she does. Wins. How many did Victoria beat out? How big was the competition? Well, you know, there's only, like I said, 5 or 6 girls, so she had to win her first match, which she did handily. It was like, what was it? It was like, I can't remember if it was a takedown or if it was a straight pull guard. The girl, once you get in Victoria's closed guard, usually you're not getting out. Like, that's her strength. And this girl was just, yeah, she was not going to go anywhere. And Victoria just put a Kimura on her. It was either that or side control. Actually, I can't remember now, but the Kimura is the one where you take the arm and you bend it back like that. And yeah, she was totally locked in on it, and it was just, and that was it. You know, there was, the ref actually stopped it before she tapped out, which annoyed the parents and the sister of the girl. But I mean, at that point, it's literally just up to Victoria whether or not her arm gets broken. So I think it's just end it. It's, you know. Jeremy says, yeah, jiu-jitsu is great to learn for people of a smaller build. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and it happens consistently because Victoria's one of the highest ranking kids at her club now. And you'll get new kids coming in, boys who are bigger than her in their first or second class, and then the teacher will put them against Victoria. And they'll be like, oh, I don't want to go against this little blonde girl. And then they find out. Gordon Goodbrother says, that lean, be there. Yeah, see, I needed the lean to be right. So, and it's an unusual pose. It's, you know, that's the weight of the situation on you. So that's why I actually ask. I very rarely ask Mel to do reference. The only times was for the hand on the cover of the first cover. Some of the shots where it's a top down and she's reaching and there's fabric folds. You know how much I love those sleeve folds. And then this one. Oh no, there was another. There was one where I had her on the couch. I wish I kept some of these photos. Oh, that's true. Yeah, the cover to the new cover where... oh, yeah. You know, she's kind of in this... But yeah, I got Mel because I wanted to see how the... I wanted to see where the seams would go on the jeans and how much of the pocket you'd be able to see from that position. So I made Mel lie down on the couch and put her legs up like Ella on the cover of Painted Death. Yeah. It's good to have a wife that will help you out. That was Vaughn walking down the street in Tampa. Mike was nice to put Ella in there instead. I might still have that image. I don't know if we agreed I would delete that one. But I don't think she'd want me to show anyone. She says the shit I do for you. I did. I painted her like one of my French girls. Yes. Exactly. I think we're good there. So at the moment, I'm just... these are what I call... I think they have a name. People call them Terminator lines or whatever. This is like cell shaded. So this is me... Some of these I've already done previously, but I'm going in and cleaning them up because I used to be a bit sloppier with what I did. I'm just going in and tidying things up a little bit. Gordon Goodbrother says, the struggle is real, and I, for one, thank you. That's talking to Mel. John says, Mel B is a good sport and supports the Lucent. What does Bancroft do anyway? D says, I do like cell shading. Originally, I was just cell shading the Lucent. But I found that it wasn't really... Yeah, I needed to do the gradients to kind of get it to do what I wanted it to do. So it's just one extra step, but it's not as intensive as some of the other stuff that a lot of people do. So not too bad. We need to buy Mel a red wig, says Eric. We have a red wig. Victoria went to school as Ella for her book week. People at Victoria's school think I'm a famous author. I already told you there's the kid at her jiu-jitsu who's like, is Michael Bancroft coming? What is that? World-renowned writer? That's me. John asks, what is cell shading? So cell shading is just like the kind of shading that you do in an animation. It's the most simple shading you can do. It's just... So this is what's known as a Terminator line. It's where you just decide that, okay, this is where the light ends and this is where the shadow begins. And you can cell shade shadow or you can cell shade highlight. Doesn't really matter. You know, ends up the same. But it's just the simple line. There's no gradation. So now what I'll do is, after this is done, I will go in and put it like a gradation in it. So it adds just an extra level of three-dimensionality to the shape. So it's like, this is the kind of shading that you'll get in a cartoon, because they obviously can't make, in a traditional 2D cartoon, they can't make gradations on every cell, so they just use essentially straight lines. I am renowned around the world, says Schneely. That's what I thought as well. Buy Mel a red wig stretch goal. Yeah, no, cell shading done well is brilliant. The best cell shading that I've seen recently is on the in a comic, is is it Horace Hoover? That's really nice. It's all about it's all about having the right color palette. And I think I just wanted a bit more of a stronger palette, that it ended up the cell shading was a bit too harsh for it. Originally, when I started out, I was doing more of a kind of a painterly shade, which is another thing you can do, and I still do like that, but it wasn't the right look for the book. So I ended up going with cell shading, and that it just wasn't enough, so then I went to cut and grad, which is what like a vast majority of digital colorists use. Mo Biggs is heading out. How, Mo? I'll see you tomorrow, Mo. We're doing the art share tomorrow, I think. Be there or be square. Snug says, cell shading gives me too much of a Spider-Verse vibe, not a fan person. I mean, they would have been using cell shading on Snow White back in the day. I mean, it's the kind of animation way to put in highlights and shadows. I didn't see the second one, even though I really loved the first Spider-Verse movie. I remember saying at the time I thought it was the best superhero film ever at the time. How times change, huh? Now I have zero interest in seeing the second one. Eric says, best cell shading, Transformers the movie and Akira. There you go. Now, do I tackle a big scene? Why not? Why not? Even though normally I might say, why do today what you can put off until tomorrow? We're all here. We have 37 beautiful people watching here on YouTube. 10 over on Rumble. How the Rumble gang. Getting that done. Eric was not impressed with the first Spider-Verse movie. Didn't watch the second. I really liked it. I thought it was pretty good. But, yeah, no interest. A lot changed since then in the world of movies. Speaking of that stuff, did you guys see that? What was it? Where was it? Can I find that? Let me find that. I responded to a tweet the other day, and it's part of an ongoing conversation that seems to be blowing up around Twitter. Let me share it. Let me pause this for a moment and share this with you. So here's someone, Jason McCuston, Christ follower, hashtag Iron Age, sci-fi, fantasy, horror author, and illustrator dog dad, staunchly anti-AI art. All right. So he's got this meme here, and it's a queue of people, and they're YouTubers chasing the algorithm, and it's going to broken franchises, and then there's the independent projects, and they're sitting there and they got no one. And if you go into it, everyone was like, it's the truth. Oh, this guy says, yeah, nobody enjoys watching a video about a book, movie, show I haven't seen. The discussion wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, some people are getting it. Anyway, I responded, believe me, I understand the sentiment, but this isn't actually what's going on. YouTubers are chasing the crowd. They're giving the audience what they want. The truth is, indie projects are a niche that a fleetingly small crowd are actively looking for. And I saw Royce from A Drink with Crazy did a video on this as well today, which is interesting. I think I agree with him. I mean, obviously it's not going to be true for everyone. I see Micro's in the chat. He's saying, well, that's not true. He watches discussions all the time of stuff he never plans to see. The point here is that you can't really get super upset that large, huge crowds, and some of these YouTubers get massive crowds, thousands and thousands of people, aren't turning out to hear about your unknown independent project. You know? And I understand people get very frustrated after years and years and years of being in a scene and hearing the same thing over and over again about how this is rubbish and that's rubbish. Now, I get that. You know, I've been there as well myself. But you have to remember that a lot of people are just for the first time hearing that stuff. And also as well, they don't know what's going on. And yeah, they have no interest in your comic. They might not even read comics, or your novel, or your band, or whatever. So you can't blame it on chasing the algorithm. The algorithm is just YouTube's way of measuring what people actually like to watch and what they click on. If everyone was clicking on independent projects, the people would be chasing that algorithm. Neon from Clownfish talks about this all the time. They would want to talk about more comic book stuff. But whenever they do, it's like no one watches. So it's not really worth their time. I don't know how to change anything about this. Actually, I do, but it's not anything that you or I can do. I think the only way to get a boom going is if someone from crowdfunding makes it huge, like TMNT kind of huge. Someone crowdfunds an independent thing and it becomes a global sensation. That will bring a crowd. Other than that, I don't know. What do you guys think? Micro says you have to factor in the existing size of the IP. Star Wars and X-Men are going to outdraw indie algorithm or not. Exactly. Yeah. It's not even... That's what I was saying. Another thing I said, and to reply to someone else, these booths wouldn't be next to each other. I've got a great piece of audio, actually, of Ethan talking about this. These booths are not next to each other. This booth is here, and it's massive. And it's like lights and display and everything. This booth is in a cupboard in the basement. You know? People have to actually go out of their way to find this stuff. We have to remember that Star Wars, Marvel were our culture. It takes a while for people to accept what's happened to it. Yeah, it's true. People want to rescue it as well. A lot of people have given up, and you know, I'm one of them on a few things. But I mean, I hope that stuff could be good again. I don't know. It's dinner time for D. See you, D. Thanks so much for hanging out. The independent avalanche will come. And it will suck and also have benefits. Yeah, a lot of people are saying you just got to hold on. Just hold on for one more day. Snark says, I tend to be the guy that hates something because it's popular. I hated Harry Potter for the longest time. After about 5 years of it, I finally got to reading it and watching it. I used to be like that. I was like that with Terminator. I loved Terminator, the first movie. Loved it. And then they made Terminator 2. And I was like, but you don't need to. Even as I was probably like 14. I was like, you don't need to. This is ridiculous. And it became this global thing. It was the best movie ever. And I was like, no, it's too popular. I'm not going to like it. So I didn't watch it. I deprived myself of the buzz that was Terminator 2. I eventually ended up watching it and loved it. Yeah, so ever since then, I have not been one of those people. I still love things, even when they go mainstream, quote-unquote, sell out. I love Blink-182. I love them from when they were playing to 100 people to when they were playing to 50,000. And I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Everyone knows that. John says, algorithm is not set. YouTube changes it at will. Ergo, you're chasing YouTube's whims. Yeah. Well, when you say YouTube, it's not what YouTube wants you to watch. YouTube just wants people to watch. YouTube wants to make money. YouTube wants the most amount of time on the site for people to play ads. So when you say YouTube's whims are to make money. So what you're really saying is the audience's whims. This is you're chasing what the audience wants to watch. And the audience want to talk about Barbie and how bad Indiana Jones is and how bad Ahsoka sucks and all that sort of stuff. That's in large part what the internet wants to talk about on YouTube. Snack says, indie projects are the pretzel guy from The Simpsons. Mainstream is Fleeta Peter. There's an audience for anything is out there. You just got to find them. That is the hard part. Yes. Yeah. I definitely think there's enough people out there who would be interested in the kinds of things we're doing to make it sustainable for a lot of people. Getting it in front of them, finding them, that's the $1 million thing. Dude Ranch is a legit album. I agree, Micra. Blink will always be one of my favorite live bands. They put on a show. Kenjack Ben says, I hate Harry Potter because it's retarded. Star Wars is already kind of dumb. Eric says, very wise bank. I wonder what I said was wise. I don't know. YouTube definitely messes with it, says Micra. They were busted pushing the Nazis videos to... Oh, yeah. When it gets to political stuff, I definitely think there's a lot more shenanigans going on. Like, you know, they pump up mainstream news, and then they tamp down alternative news sites? Absolutely. I think there's people with their fingers on the levers in those situations. But when it comes to just, small channels like ours, YouTube doesn't even know what's happening, not paying attention. They just want watch hours. They just want watch time. Clicks, watch time, all that sort of stuff. Jeremy says, yeah, the base algorithm itself doesn't change much. What they run through it changes based on trending topics and popularity. Yeah. Anyone who, Jeremy knows, if he talks comics, he doesn't get much attention. If he talks whatever TV show is popular at the moment, he gets lots of views. It's not rocket science, but it's just like, but if you want to talk about comics, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Chris says, with music too, I think you can pay someone at YouTube to push video. You can do that. Yeah, you can absolutely pay to put videos in front of people. That's an option in your back end. But is it paying for views? Is that worth anything? I don't really think it is. Eric says, share your manga links while Mo's not here. Yeah, he's gone to bed. Put as much manga as you want out there. Snarkcon says, one thing I'll never love is that YouTube keeps recommending me Minecraft videos. I keep getting recommended like relationship videos, It started with, because you watch some of these whatever shorts or small videos or whatever because they're funny, and then it thinks all you really want to watch is relationship stuff, and sometimes it's actually kind of funny and interesting, but I'm not actually that interested. But you clicked on something, so now you're kind of in for life. That's me. I don't know what you guys have. It's probably just me. Jeremy gets recommended a lot of Bob Ross. Yeah, I had a period of Bob Ross recommends. It slowed down a lot though. I haven't seen any Bob Ross in a while. Snack says, Mo gets recommended so much anime. Is that why he's so angry? He hates it so much? I guess that's the thing. YouTube doesn't discriminate whether or not you're hate watching it or, watching it because you like it. So that's what Royce's video was about, hate watching, and whether or not, those channels do a good thing in the culture war or not. Because I know a lot of people really hate that stuff. They hate the quote-unquote outrage machine. Did he say option in your back end? What do you want me to call it? The studio? Fine. YouTube Studio. Micro says people do love getting comic book lore. That is true. Yeah, some comic book lore stuff get crazy views. That is true. I'll give him that. But isn't that mostly more those big channels? Like Comics Historian or something? Comic Storian? I don't know. The guy that actually put me onto shorts, that's what he was doing. And he was getting pretty good views. I think a couple of them got up into the 50,000s. My comic book shorts do pretty well. I just did one on the X-Men, and I think that did 10,000 in a couple of days. So, yeah, there's definitely interest out there, but it's for mainstream stuff, not so much indie stuff. I wish I knew how to change that, but obviously I don't. Soul Curry Alt says, I wish I never clicked on that homeless people video. Yeah, we have to think about that now. What's this click really costing you? You know, you see a video, it looks like it could be funny, but then you think, yeah, but if I click this, what's YouTube going to start recommending me now? You know? That's a real consideration now. Eric says he keeps getting videos about Sigma males. Yeah, I've seen them as well. I don't know if I want to click. I don't know if I want to find out what a Sigma male is. Does anyone know? Can anyone explain to me what a Sigma male is so I don't have to... Although now I've said that, I'm probably going to start getting recommends just by speaking it into the universe. Phil says it's him. How did your game Mortal Kombat stream go, Phil? Is that something new you're trying to do? It's like everyone's getting into the gaming stuff. Sigmas are introverted geniuses. Oh, so me. Oh, that's fine. No wonder they're trying to recommend them to me. They're just... Game recommends game. I understand. Is that really... What's a... Is that really a thing, though? Phil says it was fun. Bancroft is C.G. Sheldon Cooper. Sheldon Cooper. Is it the guy from Big Bang Theory? That's the only Sheldon I know. It is. I know things. The Bane show of my household, says Gordon Goodbrother. Yeah, Big Bang Theory was kind of the beginning of the end, I think. When Mike is drunk, Mel has to sing Soft Kitty. What are you Snark, what are you on about? I have no idea half the time. Well, most of the time. Thank you, Eric, for sharing out the link to Painted Death, which is what I'm working on currently. You're looking at about... Well, I can tell you. Oh no, I can't tell you. Somewhere in the 40s, page 40 something. Working through the colouring. Once this is done, once these sort of highlight things are done, I'll do the grads on them, as they're called. And then when that's done, just a little bit of adjustments, and we're good to go. How's your father? More Big Bang Theory stuff, says Snark. My mom watches it, of course. She's in her 70s. Yeah, I never understood. People love that show. I thought that kind of show would really just die after things like Arrested Development, stuff like that came out. It was a bit more sophisticated than just the old laugh and stand around kind of show. But I was wrong. How wrong I was. Big Bang blows. Everyone's parents watch it, says Phil. I wonder if my parents watch it. I doubt it. It really doesn't seem like the kind of thing they'd watch. Snark says, the bane show of my house is Grey's Anatomy. I'm not keen on doctor shows where it's them banging each other while patients die. I haven't seen it. But women love it. I know that. For me, it's got to be the baking shows. Mel and Victoria love the baking shows. But it's fine because I'm in here drawing, so it's not actually a problem. It's just I really can't. I'm not into them in any way. But they love them. You know, it's just... We've collected 10 people from all over Britain to come participate in the Great Bake Off. Season 24. Bancroft likes shows that leave him alone, says Gordon Goodbrother. At the moment, we've been watching Mr. Robot, which has been pretty good. It's getting weird, which I like. At first, I thought it was trying to be like Fight Club, which I still think it is. I think it's a tribute to Fight Club. I do think that. But, I don't know, it's been getting a little Twin Peaks lately. Which has been interesting. Antonio Cardenas in the house. Hal CG. Hal Antonio. Thank you so much for joining us here at this late hour. As I get through some random panels that I've selected. She looks like she's got a bad... She just smelled something really bad. Just let one rip in the car. We've all been there. I want to make her relatable, you know? Snark says, it's another show I could never get into. People loving is Twin Peaks. I have no interest. Haven't seen in the 30 years it existed and never will. It's an acquired taste. People say it's the best show ever made. I watched the explanation as to what it was all about. And I think the guy was correct. But here's the thing. I mean, without really taking the time to research it yourself, you never would have figured it out yourself. Still, what the hell is happening kind of stuff. Bit like the Lucent. Yeah, whenever people say no one knows what the what the Lucent is about, I always think, well, Twin Peaks was a massive hit, and that was 100 times more symbolic and, you know, difficult to follow than the Lucent. So I think I'm just on the right track. Jeremy says Twin Peaks is good, far from best ever though. I do agree with, well, the take of the documentary about it, and also Lynch's take that, yeah, once the murder was solved, the show was dead. And that was a similar take that Midnight's Edge had about Star Wars, why all these Star Warses are dying, because the whole Skywalker heroic journey is in limbo. So until that is either retconned and back on the table, it doesn't matter what they do with Star Wars, it'll never take off. Oh, is Clayton in here? I didn't see Clayton. Always got it in top chat. I need to put it in live chat. Why doesn't it show? Look, Clayton was completely invisible to me. Clayton, how you going? He says Twin Peaks is great. Look at these mad coloring skills. I don't know about that. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff, but you know me, I like to work on a production line. It'll all come together. You'll see. Jeremy says, once a show like that loses its mystery, it's tough to keep the quality up. Well, if you go off what this guy said, Twin Peaks was actually all about, then it really, it's I mean, without that, the show has no purpose at all. Like, that's what the show was about. That mystery was never supposed to be solved. So yeah, it didn't work after that. Why would, Clayton says, I thought Bancroft must hate me. I just can't see my chats. That is so weird. I wish it was automatically on live chat. I'm going to have to build a habit where I turn it to live chat. So many things I don't see. Ridiculous. Snark says, I just want a non-woke and good Doctor Who franchise restored. Well, don't hold your breath. Unfortunately. Speaking of mad coloring skills, the stuff I've been seeing coming out of Corey Clayton is pretty crazy. The these what is it called? Now I've always said it was a good name, and now I can't remember it. So. Why is Top Chat even a thing? I know, right? It's like Clayton is invisible in top chat. Completely invisible. He's not here. But in live chat, and he's not saying anything weird. How bizarre. And he says, yeah, Corey's really gotten good since that comp you did with him. Lots of growth as a colorist. Yeah, I've been paying attention. It's always great to see. Man, that what are we doing? Ridiculous. That competition. Creating content, I suppose. Bancroft, did you eat any Chick-fil-A in the States? No, I didn't. And I actually don't recall actually seeing Chick-fil-A anywhere. I mean, maybe it was and I just didn't see it. Because I've heard good things. I would have tried it. Actually, I didn't eat much in the way of like fast food like that. We actually ate really pretty well while we were there. There are a few moments, but and I'm someone who I usually try. I like to taste the, you know, the popular delicacies of the area. If that's Chick-fil-A, that's Chick-fil-A. Snug says, just pretend you're Brazilian, you become a better colorist by proxy. Well, I'm really happy with my colors. I don't know if I need to... The colors are how I bring this whole thing together. Without the colors, we're kind of lost. But yeah, we were talking about that the other day. Was it yesterday? Something about the Brazilians. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm happy. It's just, what is it about that country? But anyway, the fat shaming is in full effect in the household, so probably best I didn't partake in too much Chick-fil-A type meals while I was there. I think I actually lost weight while I was overseas, which is astounding. Moromi lost 10 pounds that weekend. The return of Chinscroft. Hopefully not. I'm tracking my weight. I was down to 89 kilos. Or 88. Which is the lowest I'd been in a very long time. But I'd since gone back up again. I think I'm on 91, 92. So I gotta start being mindful again of the situation. Micro says, you probably stood and walked a lot more than normal. Yeah, That could be it. Freedom units, please. But I think it's basically I'm hovering over 200, and I should be under slightly. I should be a lot under, actually. But, you know. From little things, big things grow. Snug says he hasn't weighed under 200 since high school. Well, I haven't weighed under 200 since I think Victoria was born. I put on a little bit of that sympathy weight, if you know what I mean. Well, Mel was pregnant. And that was 11 years ago. Thinking about colouring all those bushes gives me anxiety. No, it's not much. It's a little bit of, look, this is, look what I'm doing. It's just, you know, just a little bit of this stuff. Not much. Yeah, it's all just different kind of shades of green. I suppose you could throw in some different colours there if you wanted to, but the focus is not supposed to be over here, so I'm not gonna light this up too much. I mean, I know you guys probably noticed, like I start dark and I layer on light. That's how I get the effect where it looks, to me anyway, it looks really nice and bright. So this is without any lights on it, and these highlights here that I'm putting on, this is just sort of this will end up being a mask that I use to put the highlights on. This stuff is pretty easy. Actually, it's very easy. Just little dollops. Did I eat pickles and ice cream? No, but I've had that here. I didn't need to go to the States to eat pickles and ice cream. I've eaten that myself. I wonder what people think of Australia. You know, what kind of country they think it is. Like we don't have pickles and ice cream to put together. Were we so inclined? Read it, Bancroft, says John. Bancroft, you just have to ask yourself, how many times have I been asked to be a photo ref model recently? Respect the shame. Lol. Never. Not recently, not ever. I do respect the shame. It fuels me. I appreciate it. I've never been. I'm 100% for fat shaming. Fat shaming works. Fat shame me harder. It absolutely works. I don't know if I need to color in this house. I think I'll just leave that with its shadows. Should be good. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Corey Barton is here. We were just talking about you, Corey, with your brother. All good things, of course. How many more do I have here? I'm going to start closing some of these that I've worked on. So I know how many I have left. We started there. I think I'll just finish these ones. If I finish these ones, I know that's part of another page. And I'll be done. Should we call that one Smeller? She's not actually smelling anything. She just looks like she is. She just looks like she's, you know, smelt something unpleasant. I was really proud of myself doing these jackets. I feel like I've turned a corner. At least when I think back on where I started with clothing and how this would have just been an absolute dog's breakfast of random scratches. I think, you know, I think I can pat myself on the back a little bit. What did I do there? Don't know what happened. It's alright. What's this brush? Asks Corey. I don't know. It's just a weird brush I've got. I use this brush and I use kind of like a brush like that. And I swap between them. I don't really pay too much attention. It's just a brush. The hubris is staggering, says Narcticon. John says, Banker has extra long arms to pat himself on the back. Imagine how long they'd have to go over the forehead itself. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to. No arm could be so long to go over the forehead. Something happened. I put this into Clip Studio and then my flats got wrecked. Look at this. What is this? I didn't do that. Anyway. Mars Girl couldn't get over that forehead. Everyone needs something. I don't know if there'd actually be much of any highlight there. There's something a bit like that. I don't know. Probably compress the image and introduced artifacts. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? Why would it do that? It's because normally I draw in Clip Studio and I color in Photoshop, but then sometimes, like with this case, I'd already drawn this and then I had to take it back. So I was coloring it and then I didn't like what they were wearing, so I wanted to come back and change what they were wearing, so I reopened it in Clip Studio and then it messed up with all my flats. Can you sneeze and accidentally erase what you're drawing on something like this? No. No, everything is safe. The only thing that can really go wrong is some sort of corruption of the file, which happened to me way back in the day, but never since, thankfully. But I use I've got 3 backups, and one of those is it's on a time thing, so I can actually go back and re-get like pre-existing older versions of the file, in case I changed something and then I saved it and I actually preferred how I did it originally. I can go back and get the original. And 2 of them are local, and then one of them is on the cloud. Buddha Bear's here. He says, Bancroft, how was your gay date? Serious? Sorry, play. We had a great old time. He's talking about me going out and meeting Rob out in the bush. Saw a kangaroo. It was very exciting. No one else saw it, but I did. That's all that matters. Saw Rob as well. Got Groken. All in all, got a great meal. All in all, it was very good. It's tiring. It's always tiring when you drive a lot. Mike got a haircut. I did. You are correct. Look, your camel can tell. Yeah, Mel did it. She gave me the old, one too. She was like, "You're not going out looking like that." So she sat me down, not shat me down, sat me down and shaved me down. I saw Rob's bush. I saw the bush out near where Rob lives. Is what I saw. I was looking for other animals, but I didn't see any. Snark, I didn't draw Mel in her underwear today. I did that a while back. That already happened. Don't say shaved me down south. Well, she used to use the scissors, but then we just sort of gave up on that. And we just got a good pair of clippers and she shears me like a sheep. It's better for everyone. Because I went back to the barber that I used to go to before COVID. It was like $60. And you have to book in. And they weren't very nice. And it wasn't very good. So I was like, well, I'm not doing that again. So I said, screw that. You were my COVID barber. You're now my official barber in perpetuity for the rest of your life. Congratulations. Phil says we could tell. I like it. It doesn't bother me. It looks good to me. Looks fine to me. No problemo. I'm not like you, Phil, going out there and getting fancy haircuts. Down at the fancy haircut store. Again, what is going on with my flats here? They're all wrecked. He's not PTP, Snark. Doesn't look anything like him, actually. Is every man with a beard Patrick? I mean, Ned Kelly, for all you know. Denial isn't just a river, so says Snark. Sometimes it's easy and sometimes it isn't. That's annoying. This is why I said Rob should come back on the draw stream so that there's no, dead air. Not that I mind, I don't care. But, no, it's not the best. You just remove the tattoos just to deflect suspicion that it's PTP. No, I put the tattoos in later. He's got tattoos all over his arm and up his neck here. His hand, sorry. But I'll put them in later. I don't draw them in. They're like I got a template that I use. JMax says, I like dead air on these streams. They're 1 to 2 AM for me. It's the CG wind down. Yeah. It's fine. A little bit of... I can't believe you guys watch streams at that time, though. I am not a... It's 7:30 here now, and I'm already thinking, oh, this is getting a bit late to be, on YouTube streaming. Bit more here. But I'm happy that you are here. CG Wind Down with Michael Bancroft. Justice for Camel? Why, what happened with Camel? John says, dinner time, Bancroft. And then Snark says, skip a meal. You could keep streaming. You could skip a meal, fatty. I could skip a meal after everything I ate today. We did eat a lot. And Moromi suggests CG Wind Down Under. The Wind Down. Well, there's an idea. I suppose you don't have to worry much about streaming over anyone, because, you know, what kind of... Who would stream at this hour? Although I wouldn't want to bite any of Finn's, you know, what Finn has got going on with the stank. Only the strong, Bancroft. Only the strong, says John. That's right. That's us. Only the strongest survive. In CG. That's kind of true, actually. I was talking about this with Rob and then Mel. I was like, if you don't have a love for this, if this isn't everything you think of doing, you know, making comics, and you're trying to do comics, you are not going to last. The amount of time you sink into these things, there has to be more than just money for you. Because, you know, really, there's only two guys who I think are making the kind of money that would justify the amount of time that's being sunk into them. And that's Eric and Ethan. Maybe Shane, because he said he has made nearly 800,000, and if he's made 800,000 from Shane and John, so those guys, and Cecil, so there's a few, all right. But if he's made 800,000 from 3 books, that's pretty amazing. But still, I mean, there's so much other time that he's put into it in other ways. The point is, most people will not make back the value of the time that they sink into this. At least not within any kind of fast time frame. You and Rini doing a draw stream would be about it. Yeah, Rini likes doing the late ones as well. J Max says, I bet Eric Weathers does pretty well. He works on every single book. Yeah, that's true. Slightly different. I think I'm talking more like people who are kind of creators who are putting out their own books. I think if you are a good artist who can keep it a good, like, get a good page rate and then keep it a good pace, yeah, you know, then obviously, you know, I hope the money is worth it because that's like a job. Really, what I'm just saying is that you've got to have a passion for this, because if not, yeah, you're going to just burn out and fade away. Camel says, not mine, not Mike's. I'm not sure what that's in relationship to. John says, would never have thought lettering could be such a speciality. It's definitely a... Yeah, it's definitely... Well, it's a technical skill. It's also... There is artistry to it. And also, it's just a... You know, it's a good thing to be able to hand off to someone else. Because it does take time. It is an added expense. So if you can spend your time elsewhere, it's not a, you know, it's not a bad thing. Was there I thought there was another panel of that somewhere. Alright, I guess that's it then. Alright. I think that might be it. It might be dinner time for me. Romy says, honestly, the amount of pages drawn takes a lot of time. I haven't read Fiendish in almost 2 years. Yeah. It does. It's a crazy amount of time. It really is. But I don't want to be doing anything else. I was thinking, you know, if I won the lottery, this is what I'd be doing. I'd be making my comic. So, this is what I'm here doing. Alright, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We've got 44 people in here. Wow, on YouTube. Thank you so much. 8 over on Rumble. You guys rock. Back the Lucent if you haven't. The books are down there in the description somewhere. I'll see you tomorrow for the art share. Until then, I hope you have a great night. Snack says, just put Nugget on screen. On stream. No, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go hang out with the family. Alright, guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Individually, we are weak, like a single twig. But as a bundle, we form a mighty